So Texas, young. Do you even remember before? Probably you. If you're like me, I didn't know what the word entrepreneur meant. I didn't know what self-employed meant. I didn't know any of these things as a kid. Do
No.
you remember some of the first things you ever did that were, your first ventures?
Yeah. So I remember one time I was frustrated that I was always so hot.
What?
Because, you go to work and you're getting paid 25, 50 cents an hour type of thing, because that's what dads do to you. And it's when you're 7 or 8, you're collecting nails. When you're 10, 11, and 12, you're digging. And when you're a little older, you're laying track and stud, because that's kind of how self-storage goes. And then, that's kind of what you're doing. But like, I just remember always being hot. So I was like, I'm going to figure out how to not be hot. So I took my lunchbox and I'll never forget this, because my dad really laid into me for this, but I can recall, I took a hole saw bit and I cut a hole in this thing. I was probably like 11,
I already like where this is going.
and I took some silicone or some sort of glue. I don't remember why, I don't know what it was. And I took a fan, and I apologize. I've got something in my throat and I don't know what's going on here, but
We can take a break if you get choked up over this.
no, seriously, I'm sobbing right now. And I glued that thing in, and I dumped ice inside there, and I'm like, I got this little, 9-volt battery fan, and I turned it on. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I can turn this thing on and get cold air on my face, and dude,
And this is a thing now. This is a thing
now. I said, Dad, check this out. I just built a portable air conditioner, and he lit me up, because that was my lunchbox, or his lunchbox, because he paid for it, so, which is funny, because 15, 20 years later, I'm like, wait, what? This is everywhere.
Literally, dude, this thing, I'm pretty sure the biggest one is called Mr. Cool.
Yes. And I'm like, randomly, when I get stupid ads for it, I send it to Dad. I'm like, hey, dude, do you remember this? And he's like, ugh, because he's a very different human now than he was then, that's for sure. But so that was probably like where I thought I was going first, which got, shut down real quick. But then it was landscaping. I started a landscaping route with a buddy of mine, and knew that I wanted to go, I wanted to be able to make money, but I wanted to be able to do it on my own time, because I love sports. You can't grow up in Texas and not play football.
I was going to ask you, what part of Texas did you grow up in?
Midlothian, Texas. So South Dallas. It's
South of where?
Dallas.
Oh yeah, I was in Dallas I was in Dallas just a couple weeks ago. I went to the Cotton Bowl. We stayed in South Lake, I want to say. Is that right?
South Lake's real nice. So
yeah.
Midlothian's a lot bigger now, but it was real small gravel roads when we first got there. So great place. Had an awesome childhood in terms of where I grew up. I really love rural environments. But landscape route. And I can recall, I don't want to take too much time on this question.
No, we're going to take time. You just go, buddy. Nobody ever gives Brad Young a chance to talk.
There was a guy, his name was Jeff Turner. I'd been cutting his yard for like 3 years. At this point, I'm 15 years old. I had started cutting his yard real early, and Jeff Turner worked for GM, and he was like, hey, I'm going to build a new home, and it was a modest home in today's world. And, but it's kind of on a little bit of a hill. And he was like, I got paid for this patent that he put in for, how when you if you don't put your seatbelt in, it detects your body weight and it chimes.
Yeah. That was him.
Seriously frustrating now as an adult.
Right.
Why did you
Thanks
do
a
that?
lot, man.
Terrible. But so he's like, you think you could install the landscaping at my home, not just like go maintain something, but do a full landscape install? And I'm like, sure, yeah, let's do it. Because that's kind of like my attitude about a lot of things in life, which...
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, you, at this point, have no concept of doing this, right? You just said yes.
Oh, yeah, yes. It's always yes. Like, figure it out.
I'll figure it out as we go. 100%.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that style of life. But so he's like, yeah, come on over. So I can't drive yet. And so my buddy...
I was going to ask, is this like what age? I'm
about 15.
Okay.
And so my buddy of mine, his name is Bo. B&B Landscaping was our and I found an old business card just a couple of years ago, which was great. I'm like, oh, that's like that's a relic almost. So anyway, we go over there and I'm like, oh crap, this house is like on this hill, and I'm like, so what do you want for landscaping? He's like, oh, I want some railroad tied terraced style steps up this hill, and he's on acreage. It's not like this little postage.
Not like a small pad.
No, it's like he's on several acres. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I've been just running bobcats forever already, and I'm like, well, I guess we'll figure this out. So So I go to my dad. I'm like, Dad, how do I do this? So he's teaching me about dead man posts, and he's teaching me about how to use spikes and how to overcut and then rebuild back with compaction, blah, blah, blah. So, and then he's literally, we get in an F550, load this thing up with with a big skid steer. He drops it off and says, good luck. And I'm like,
I love it.
So I'm like, he helped me. Like, I mean, kudos to him. Like, he was willing to see me go figure it out.
Yeah, and let you fail.
Yeah, so I get in a skid steer and I start cutting the side of this guy's hill away. And I'm thinking, at the time, I'm like, I don't comprehend that I'm impacting like the foundational side of this guy's property. But it turned out awesome. I'll cut it a lot shorter. It turned out awesome.
Oh man, I was hoping you were going to say, you cut into a gas line or something.
No, we made 10 grand in 3 weeks. We worked around the clock and put all of it in, planted sod, sprinklers, fencing, all the things. We worked around the clock for about 3 weeks. We made like 10 grand. We split it, or it was something like that. And
but at that time, it was like a pile of money.
So it was a pile of money. Yeah, I went out and I bought a street bike. My parents were like, the only way. They're like, the only way. I was like, guys, I really want to, because I've been running dirt bikes for forever, and I was like, yeah, I would love to get a street bike. And they're like, you have to pay for it if you're going to get it. We don't want you on this.
This is another thing I didn't know about you, bro. I got a broken collarbone to prove my dirt bike isms.
Oh yeah. So I love it. I mean, I enjoy it. I like anything outdoors for sure. But so that was probably my first venture into like true entrepreneurism. Like,
And what did you guys do with that from there? I mean, where did you do that a while, or what did that look like?
We just continued doing smaller installs. Most people weren't looking for what we did there, but installs, and continued the landscape side of it. And I was still always doing work for my dad when needed it, or like we always threw a few trailers of hay in the summer, because animals need feed over the winter, stuff like that.
Did you ever at any point during that landscape gig, did you ever come clean to Jeff? Like, hey, we didn't actually know what we were doing here. We just figured it out.
Oh, no way.
All right, Jeff, if you somehow get on this, the statute has run. We think this.
So, I drove there about 10 years ago. I was like, I'm going to go drive by this, but still there. Still there. It's a different fence now. I'm sure that thing was rotted out. You know what I mean? But like,
yep, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, and if we've done those railroad tie embankment walls as well. And I mean, I've just got to think back. I'll never forget my stepdad and I doing one of those when I was a kid. And if they're the same like yours, they're treated with creosote.
Yes.
And I got creosote burn on my face. Like oh man, it's for real.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
I started that job in shorts and definitely never went back in shorts, because I was like, I didn't know. I was like, what am I doing? I'm in shorts. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is getting all over me.
Yeah. And when you're nice and hot and sweating, it's like worse than metal weed or poison ivy or any of that.
For sure. You're ripping it up with a chainsaw, realizing everything's spewing all over your legs, and you're like, this is stupid.